So the U.S. is making another major change in its relationship with Cuba. It is possible the Castro government could be off the list of state sponsors of terror. Now, why would that be and what does it mean? Katie McFarland, Fox News national security analyst and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense during the Reagan administration. Katie, good morning to you. Why would this happen?
It's legacy time for President Obama, and this is the pattern he uses. First, he takes the country off the state's list of state-sponsored terrorists, and then he has diplomatic overtures, and then ultimately cuts a deal with the dictator. It's what they're doing with Iran. I think it's what he's planning to do with Cuba.
Soon?
Yeah, I think absolutely soon. He's got a meeting with Castro, with the Latin American countries at the end of the week. He'll probably meet with Castro. I think soon after that, you can see more overtures to Cuba.
You know, in that NPR interview that came out 2 days ago, he was asked about this question.
Right.
And the answer came the following way from the president. Understand the criteria is very straightforward. Is this particular country considered a state sponsor of terrorism? And he went on to say, we don't agree with them on everything when it comes to policy, but specifically, state sponsor of terrorism, he was ready for that question.
Of course he was ready for that question. He's been thinking about it for a long time. Look, I mean, I want to part ways with some conservatives who say, well, we should never have anything to do with the Cubans. I look at this and say, I care what's important for my country. I don't care what's important for other countries. But the security of the United States depends on not having an enemy on our borders. Look at Cuba. The only time we've come close to nuclear war was when the Soviet Union tried to put nuclear missiles in Cuba. That was the Cuban Missile Crisis. I look at Cuba today and say they're going to try that again. The Castro brothers are eventually going to die. And when they die, there will be political chaos in Cuba. The country which is poised to have a relationship with the new Cuba will be the country that has a lot of influence, economic, political, and maybe military. So I look at this and say, we better be getting our ducks in a row now. We better be making overtures to the reform movement in Cuba. We better be making overtures to the business community, to the educational community, to whatever other communities we can make overtures to, because when the Castro brothers fall, we want to make sure it's America in there, not China. Not Russia.
So Tom Friedman had the interview on Saturday, the question about the Obama doctrine on screen now for our viewers. The doctrine is we will engage, but we preserve all our capabilities. How does that line now fit into this discussion?
Oh, I don't even know what that line means. I mean, that just is gobbledygook. What is he talking about? You know, the Obama administration was initially going to be, lead from behind, and then it was going to be strategic patience, and now it's this gobbledygook. That is not an accidental line. The president knew he had that interview with Tom Friedman. He knew that was going to come up. He, in his own words, said, this is my doctrine. My guess is that they pulled it, they test marketed it, they focus grouped that line. And what does it mean? It means whatever you want it to mean. It means whatever you read into it. So in other words, the Obama doctrine used to be don't do stupid stuff. Well, that didn't work out because they kept doing stupid stuff. So now it's just some vague sort of mamby-pamby pablum line.
Well, there's a summit this week, in Panama, so we'll see how the story advances then, if at all, but a lot of people expect it to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Katie McFarland here in studio.
Thank
Martha,
you.
what's next?